What up, though? What's good with everybody out there, man? This is Topaz Yates back for the stream of the unseen and such, man. And as you guys should know by now, as people begin to come up into the room, we always tend to talk about something, and this thing that we talk about revolves around the whole show. And the thing that I want to talk about today starts with the thing called, fake it until you make it. This is a cliche pretty much in our community where individuals who want to become something, instead of trying to own the way into being that, they pretend like they are super successful to begin with in order to show, in order to fool people into thinking that they are super successful. You feel me? Therefore, they fake the success in order to get real success later. And this is something that we as a people need to get over. We need to stop doing this because there are so many careers that have been lost because you blew all this ridiculous amounts of money doing things that you hoped would attain more of a following, but it really didn't happen that way. On the real, the new saying that we need to have as a people, as a culture, it is not fake it till you make it. It's live it until you is it. You feel me? Because there's so many things about this hip hop lifestyle that you can live, that you can become. Like you don't have to do it on the highest level possible that you see online or you see people doing on TV and such all the time. You don't have to live like that in order to get your success. But if you live the game, you can live it on a lower level. And from there, you can build up to more success. It's like you see all these guys out here making like expensive music videos, people looking like they got all this success on them. Like you can make music videos for the low. It's not that expensive to get a camera. What up, Sean? What's good, bro? It's not that expensive for you to do anything in this hip hop game. And that's why you can live it until you is it. There's no point in faking it no more because everything that these people are doing, you can do it. I mean, sure, the whole scene. What's up, Isaiah? What's good, brother? See, sure, the whole thing about people tend to flock around those who are just throwing money out of nowhere, people who are having the fancy, expensive cars, the people that's out here allegedly doing it and such. Yes, that does bring about a certain amount of notoriety in wherever you're at. You pull up in Bentley at a club, people are going to take notice. But yet, that notice isn't necessarily good notice. You got your jack boys that's like, oh, he's doing it like that. Let me follow him. You got your chicks that will set a dude up like Kendrick and Lil Wayne said on the song. Like, oh, you got all this money that you blowing in the strip club? We can get that up off you. Like a lot of negatives come along with the whole fake it till you make it, to the point that if you don't find a way up out of it, then you lose it all. Like there are so many people out here that's trying to fake like they have street notoriety up in particular hoods, and they don't really tell you the cost of doing such things. They don't tell you that these hoods be charging them to represent the hoods. Like they don't be telling you that they be ultimately just getting extorted all the way. But yet, this is them faking a street lifestyle so that they can make street lifestyle type sales. But why would you do that if you're not actually living it? Like you can find your audience online no matter what kind of lifestyle that you lead. We see it all the time with people who aren't in the streets, who do whatever music they want to do, and they're always like take Odd Future for instance. Odd Future was alternative hip hop, but yet they built such a foundation of fans that they found their own success, in which they were never gangster. They were never in the streets or anything like that. Like you never see the circus that they had get shot up or anything like that. Nah, really, what you would see from them is uh, what they had mosh pits and crazy stuff like that. But yet they were true to themselves and they did them until they found the fan base that accepted them and then built the success based off of that to the point that they're still noticeable to this day. People still know Tyler the Creator. People still know of Odd Future, even though they ain't like to the upper echelon of what the music industry was. Like they didn't succeed at things that people believed that they would, but still, they showed you that you can live it until you is it. You ain't gotta fake it till you make it no more. And that really ties into today's show, man. As you can tell through the artwork that I posted on this, we gonna be talking about this whole Nicki Minaj and Takashi 6ix9ine thing. Like, because here's the word on the streets. Takashi 6ix9ine is getting hunted down by a whole bunch of gang members and such because one, he's talking reckless about every gang in every city and all of that stuff, and he tries to be so hard and he pull up with all this security, or he'll just pop up in like the hood randomly. Like he popped up in the hood of Chicago in like a project randomly bright in the morning, like birds is chirping and all that, and he posted a video and pictures saying, "I'm out here. What's up? Like you see me out here." Like people were not going to wake up and see it and try to hunt him down. But then out in LA, they especially got it out for him because if you guys remember the video where he was getting to the airport and there was a big brawl that broke out and somebody caught him slipping. And he pretty much has a target on his back out there, and it's because he goes out there claiming sets that he should not be claiming, and then he wants to talk all kinds of reckless stuff about anybody's hood. Like that doesn't come back. Like people aren't really gonna sit up there and wait on him. See, not this LA and Chicago, not a great look for the white troll. Facts. It's not, because eventually they're gonna catch him. And they almost did for this video shoot. Like he thought he was just gonna sneak into LA and shoot a video with Nicki Minaj and Kanye West and all that, and try to do it in like a mansion and think that nobody was going to find out, that nobody was going to pull up as they did. There's actually the video out. Have you seen the video, Sean? Where it's a TMZ video where they pull up to the mansion and they tell each other, "Yo, we got 60 seconds." And they couldn't get through the gate of the mansion. So what they did was they went over top of the of the brick fence or whatever and just started shooting. And I mean, I don't ever want to see nobody get what's come. Well, he's about to get what's coming to him on the real. And yes, indeed. So you did see it, man. And I mean, one shot went straight through Nicki Minaj's dressing room, fam. And I mean, she's lucky that she wasn't there. Like, but this ultimately just boils down to, why are you hanging around this clown? Like, when you hang around people, you end up getting caught up in things that they caught up in. Like, no bullet has a name to it. And that could have easily caught Nicki Minaj if she was there on time. And maybe it's a good thing that maybe it's a good thing that she was late. Like, I remember a story that my uncle once told me. Like, he knew of a guy who was doing well for himself. He asked for it and people were crying. Facts, like why? Like I understand, like there's a lot of money that goes behind Takashi 69. I know this, but yet when you see him acting reckless out here, how you going to believe that any of his consequences aren't going to rub off on you because you dealing with him? Like, I mean, when you break down the math of what happened here, like his record label was paying $480,000 to do this music video, to get Kanye and Nicki Minaj and the film crew and all of that stuff to do it up the way they want to do it. But by these people coming in and shooting it all up, they just lost $480,000 that's not refundable, fam. And what's the cost of it? Like, from what I'm hearing, is they trying to charge them like a $200,000 checking fee, which I mean, that's excessive. I hear like it's actually less than that for other acts and such, like way less than that. But yet for a guy like Takashi 69 who's doing all this reckless talking, all this reckless nonsense, it makes sense. Guys like that need to be taxed to the fullest because they're going to come in and make everything hot and do some stupid stuff that's going to come back on whoever it is. Mm. They got $500,000 for the damages of the mansion. Yeah. Yeah. On top of the loss of $480,000 of not being able to do the video. Well, see, but that's like some white people. That's some white people game right there. Like I don't think it's a legitimate $500,000 worth of damages for whatever happened in that mansion. They probably running it up because they know they can and they can get away with it. But at the end of the day, we talking about $1 million loss here because Takashi 69 is wanting to be reckless and he's not trying to just abide by the like see people don't understand outside of LA, which I'm not from LA, but I know the culture. I to a degree I know the culture. I'm not going to pretend like I know it all when it comes to LA, but I know the fact that gang banging runs deep. I know there's like 3 to 4 generations of gang banging in LA and they take it seriously. And if you feel as though you're too big for gang banging ain't too big for you. They will find you, they will roll up on you, and you either gonna pay your check-in fee. Oh yeah, I know you from LA, Sean. I don't know what part of LA you from though, but I'm sure you know pretty damn well that there's certain hoods that you should not be walking in LA that they protect. That if you walk in there with the wrong colors on or you don't know nobody in there, you just trying to go through it, don't work out that way, fam. But you know, LA is a completely different culture than anywhere else. And Chicago Chicago is like a shooter culture where it's not the same as gang banging like a lifestyle. It's more of everybody is trying to come up, everybody's a shooter, everybody's dying. That's pretty much the difference. Like LA culture is they lived gang banging for so long that everybody like it's so well ingrained in society. Wow, Chicago is really just a bunch of shooters, and somehow Takashi 69 has angered everybody in both of these cities. And now, but the hoods are trying to calm down with the violence unless they get disrespected. And I mean, I feel that, Sean. And that's the only logical thing, man. Because how can you make money with all the violence happening? When you got so many people that's caught up in it from generation to generation, man. Like there comes a point where you gotta just let certain things go, like beefs that's been going on for like 20 years. Atlanta. Now, I've been to Atlanta multiple times, and I know Atlanta is about that business, but there's only but a select, like the people that are from Atlanta in the hoods, like they straight up about this. You feel me? But yet there's so many people in Atlanta who moved from other places to get to Atlanta that waters it completely down, that be on some nonsense. Like all of these, like, Atlanta has become like the gay hub of America, the gay black hub of America. And it's not because of the people that's in Atlanta. It's people from everywhere else coming to Atlanta who's living this lifestyle, which it is what it is. I'm not hating on anybody for their lifestyle, but Atlanta has some. Like I remember I saw a video. It was a dude in Atlanta with like because there's a lot of white supremacist like organizations that's outside of Atlanta. Like Atlanta is like the only black region in Georgia, pretty much. Like there's a bunch of like Augusta and all of that. There's black people all over, but yet the main black hub is Atlanta. All the surrounding areas like got a lot of white racist people that'll lynch you if you come around type stuff. You feel me? And Atlanta, they defend against that. Atlanta is cool, but it's not what it once was. I I was sad that Compton wasn't capitalized as a black city, but gang banging ruined that. It wasn't gang banging that ruined Compton, man. Compton was once a white city. Like, oh, I know you talking the 80s and 90s. Compton was once a white city, bruh. Like, nothing but white people. But then when black people got the chance, when black people started coming up, like middle class black people started coming up and was able to afford a little housing within Compton, moved in there, white people quickly packed up, took all the resources, took everything that Compton had, and rolled out. Now, what's really going to happen when you ain't got no job, you ain't got no resources, you ain't got nothing? In a like they had a mass exodus in a city that was once super nice. Like people are going to do something. People are going to try to find a way. Somebody is going to try to find a way to live. You can't stop that. But by taking away any kind of opportunity, you all but sabotage the entire city. So gang banging was really more of a result of a white exodus. And they took all of the resources and all of the jobs and stuff with them. So I ain't gonna put that on them. But but another thing that I wanted to talk about on how like these rappers are trying to fake it till they make it and all of that. Like this is Takashi 69 trying to fake his street cred, trying to fake like he's hard or something like that, man. And he's paying the price for it. But there's another story that came out with Riff Raff. If you got, I'm sure everybody remembers Riff Raff, where he's been getting extorted. Oh, like he's been getting extorted by a extortion ring that they got like an escort service that obviously he must have did something with this escort service and they tried to hit him up for $1 million. I guess they got videos and all of that stuff for whatever he did with this escort service. We probably already know. But they trying to hit him for $1 million. And instead of like paying it out, he said, "You'll never get a dime off of me." Hey man, I read all of the hip hop. I read all of the stories that have some kind of hip hop to it. You feel me? And I mean, this is just another aspect of faking it till you make it. Because if you listen to a bunch of Riff Raff songs, and there are moments where like you see him in videos and stuff like of just him being out and about when he's trying to clown women, saying, "Oh, I don't want that. She's not even all that good looking," and all of this stuff. Because what was it? I think it was "Fuck That's Delicious." He was on that joint, and some chick, some black chick, was trying to holler at him. And I'm not gonna tell you that she was whack. She wasn't that good looking or whatever. But this dude was trying to clown so heavy. But now word comes out that he out there messing with escorts and paying for all of this sex, even though Riff Raff has a name that people recognize, right? And I'm sure I haven't heard all of his songs, but I know if you're in hip hop, a lot of these people tend to try to talk about how the ladies' men in all of this. You feel me? It wouldn't shock me if Riff Raff has a ton of songs talking about how he's smashing all these chicks, but yet he's getting caught up in an escort scam where he's getting blackmailed for $1 million. Why is you faking it till you make it? I guess. Like, he obviously never had women. Because once you get to a point where you have had women consistently, then you realize it's not difficult to get any. You don't have to pay for sex. It doesn't happen like that. You feel me? But yet, he obviously had to pay for sex. Like, why is you faking it till you make it, bro? And it's hilarious. I find it hilarious. What up, Alexander? What's happening? Okay. A story broke this week about Riff Raff on how he got caught up in a blackmailing, like they trying to there's a blackmailing like ring out there that got him caught up in a escort type thing. Like somehow, like he pretty much they came out Riff Raff came out saying that he's not going to pay $1 million to these people that are blackmailing him because he got caught up with an escort and they've been using that to blackmail. And the whole concept of today, from the very beginning of this show, which you probably should go back and watch, is talking about faking it till you make it. We need to drop that as a culture and implement things like live it until you is it. Like he has no reason to be. That's facts. Tariq Nasheed would say that he's nothing but a trick. And it is funny because in videos that he's dropped, like the fuck that's delicious, he be trying to clown women that be trying to holler at him like he actually had a bunch of women. But if you paying for sex, well, why is you faking it? Ah, man. But that's all I really wanted to touch on with those, man. I find those stories. I find the Nicki Minaj story with Takashi 69 a little bit sad, but Nicki should know better than to try to roll with somebody like Takashi 69 and do videos with him when he's getting hunted out here in these streets. And she's very lucky that she wasn't in that room when they shot it up. She needs to rethink her moves with this dude. But this Riff Raff joint, I just find that hilarious. But some other things I definitely wanted to touch on today, man. Like, did you guys see the story about TDE's co-president coming out saying that the same tactics that they used to break Kendrick Lamar, all the Black Hippie, and everybody, in order to break this roster of artists, those same tactics would not work in this day and age. And that is spoken like, and that's some facts, like on the real. Like the thing that people don't realize is that the music industry, it changes, but every 4 years max, maybe even less than that. But the game changes. You can't use the same formula that someone else used or that you used years ago and try to put yourself on today. Like, and the sad thing is, man, when I be out here in Charlotte and stuff, dude, especially for like the big events like CIAA that's coming up in February, I think. Again, no. Yeah, I think it's gonna be in February or March, probably February. But whenever I go out to that, man, I see dudes out there trying to sell mixtape CDs on the streets. Like, what is you doing? Like, fam, you might as well be out here with an 8 track. You might as well be out here trying to dance a jig, like do a minstrel show, fam. Like, the game has evolved to the point that people don't pay for music. One, two, people don't use CD players no more. Like, but yet you can't tell a lot of people that the game, it wasn't that long ago that mixtapes and Dat Piff were running the game. Now streaming put that to it. Yes, absolutely, Alexander. Streaming is king right now, dude. And if you're not adapting to that, then you're not going to break anything. And that's specifically what this co-president was talking about. How he was saying, like, at the times that he was trying to break Kendrick Lamar and all of that, it was the time of the music blogs. Like, if you could have a relationship with a good amount of music blogs, then you'll get a bunch of them to post up your music, and like full albums, full mixtapes, and all of that stuff was used to go ahead and break an artist into being notable. But these days, it goes back to what it was kind of like when it was nothing but CDs, but yet it's strictly for the streaming. Like, in the time of the CDs, you would make a single or two, to 1 to 3 singles, pump those 1 to 3 singles with videos and all that stuff on BET and MTV, and then you could use that to break an individual artist into the game. Nowadays, it's similar but way more fierce, because now they can get now they are getting like one single, posting that on the streaming sites, do a video, a cost-friendly video. You ain't got to do a big budgeted joint, because a lot of dudes have their own equipment. They can piece together some pretty decently made videos. It ain't got to be the most amazing videos ever. You ain't got to fake it till you make it. You can get you a good, reasonable price and pump that as a single to get people to stream your albums off of Spotify or Apple Music and all that. And that's where you make all of your sales off of the album, or individual tracks and all of that. You feel me? Did you also see the story about how record labels fake those streaming numbers in China? No, I didn't even see that joint. Rappers are getting pushed off of social media buzz. Yeah, rappers are definitely getting, like, the whole game is coming full circle, but yet it's it's at a point now where everybody can do it, because we're all on a level playing field with online and social media and all of that. Yes, money and a push and all of that behind it can definitely help, but yet, if you're not realizing this now and you're still trying to do something that, say, Ludacris told you to do back in the 2000s, where he said that you just get a bunch of CDs and pump them out your trunk, if you're still trying to do that, you just catching L's. But Sean, please tell me about how record labels are faking those streaming numbers in China. Ooh. Hmm. But another thing about, like, business that we definitely need to talk about today. Did you guys see the story about Brian Michael Cox, who's a singer-songwriter? Like, he's most notably known for his work that he did with Usher and Mariah Carey and such. Like, he's a pretty big name. Now, this guy went to the W Hotel, the headquarters of the W Hotel, not just a random W Hotel. It had He had a meeting with the people who literally own, like, the board, who own all of the W hotels in AW, like, international, but they own it all. Had meetings with them, as he pitched an idea, which was an amazing idea. Said, for your W hotels, let's create like studio rooms for artists that's just on the move to come in and record. Like pretty much they build up hotel rooms, like hotel suites, and put in the soundproofing, got in all of the equipment that they need, got in everything in that suite for an artist to come and make a whole bunch of records while they on tour, while they doing whatever they want to do. And then on top of that, they also gave them the idea, like, you guys got the locations worldwide with the W's Hotel. You could create your own record label. And you got the money to go ahead and promote everything to go on top of it. You got the venues that you can go out there and pull people in to do shows. Like, you got everything. What up, Hefe? I did see that video. I didn't know that was the labels that was, well, I didn't know who it was that was they call those uh view farms or whatever. Like, they do that for not only like Instagram and all of that stuff, but they also do that for all social media, and I guess now they doing it for SoundCloud and all of this. Uh, but real talk, so this black man and his group gave the W Hotel maybe a $1 billion idea because they're already established and can be a major power in the music industry because they got money, they got the locations, they can do tours on their own, they can do everything at their own locations. And this stuff is so upscale that it works. What does the W Hotel do? They tell them, oh, that's not in the budget. We can't afford that right now. It is what it is. We can't run with your ideas. 2 years later, they doing it. But they're not giving any credit to this black group of Brian Michael Cox and his other teams and stuff. You feel me? They are really not giving any props or anything to them. Instead, they gave the props to what's his name? Uh uh where did I put DJ White Shadow. DJ White Shadow. The DJ for Lady Gaga. Yes, he's like the whitest DJ you'll see, fam. And does this shock you that a massive conglomerate like this would do? Like, if you're going to give somebody else, if you're going to give somebody else the credit for coming up with this idea, but yet you go out of your way to not give it to the black people, and the black people are trying to they just want to do good business here and stuff, but you gonna give it to this white DJ. Like, doesn't that just overtly show you America as we see it? Like, these massive conglomerates and stuff are ran by white supremacists, and they won't let black people in the door. If you slightly get the door cracked open, they'll steal your idea and give it to a white dude. I know many of people who have pitched an idea to investors, and the investors turn around and just steal that idea. Facts, Alexander. It happens. It happens all the time. But you would think that the higher up in the game you get, the less it should happen to you, right? Like, you would believe when you reach the level that Brian Michael Cox is, where he's a Grammy Award winner, notable for years and years, heavy in the game. You would think that he would be able to avoid such a thing because people wouldn't be so brazenly bold to steal from him. But obviously, yes, on every level of this, people are going to steal your ideas. On every level of this, people are going to be like deceitful and the whole white supremacy. Like the thing that kills me though is why wouldn't they just take it for themselves and say that they came up with it? Why go out of your way to give credit to this white DJ for Lady Gaga and all of that? Like, why would you do that? That's doing nothing more than throwing salt in the wound, saying we're not going to give any kind of props to black people for coming up with anything. And the thing is, Brian Michael Cox and his group are saying they don't even intend on suing. They already on to the next one. And that's the mentality that you need to have. And I've been saying this forever. You see, these white people on top, all they can do is steal your ideas because they don't have any. Like, they need a front man for the idea. That's why they got Lady Gaga's DJ. Yeah, absolutely. Which is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I mean, but they could have just put in one of the managers or something, though. You feel me? But to actually go out and get Lady Gaga's DJ, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous all the way around. But you got to have the same mentality that Brian Michael Cox has. Where, okay, y'all stole my idea. Like, I would still like to be a part of it, even though y'all took it and ran with it. But I got other bigger ideas going because when you come up with an idea, you have thousands more where that came from. What a Topaz Sea Ghost is amazing. Can't believe I hated that out. What up, Cedric, man? And know that I'm still kind of bad, bro. Ah, but you gotta have that mentality of I'm moving on to the next one. I'm trying to make more money. I'm trying to be more successful. I got more ideas to come. Ideas, they come, they go. You really just need one to hit and have it work in your own way. You feel me? Yes, the I'm telling you, man, like they gave this hotel $1 billion idea to be able to have, and this is what we talking about, Cedric. The studio, the uh the the W Hotel got they just decided to put in music studios in hotel suites that they have. And they got the idea off of a black guy, Brian Michael Cox, who's notable in the game, who's heavy in the game. You feel me? But they didn't give him credit for it. And 2 years after the fact, they stole the idea and used Lady Gaga's DJ as the front man. That's pretty much what we're talking about. But it's a great idea because, as I said, man, the hotels are everywhere. So, and you know, hotels tend to have like big celebration parties and stuff. Like for like, I know there's a hotel, Center City of Charlotte, man, that every Christmas and New Year's Eve they hold like the biggest parties and stuff that you can only be invited to. You feel me? So hotels hold their own parties. They're located in pretty much every major city in the United States, and the W is international. So, and if you got music studios in there, then bam, you can record. After you get done recording, you can go down and perform. You can go on tour, everything within the hotel system. W is where Chris Brown got locked up. Doesn't shock me. The W Hotel got the whole white supremacist like vibe to it, fam. But it's a great idea, and then on top of it, they started doing the what's the name of the record label? They call it W Records, and the first artist is like some chick, I think. Stole everything. It's $1 billion idea, but it is what it is. they still gonna find, like, if they coming up with ideas like that, they gonna come up with another great idea. They gonna be all right. They're gonna find a lot of success based off it. They don't really need to necessarily sue or anything because one, the Brian Michael Cox is good off of the royalties of the music that he's put out there. But he's eventually going to find the right thing to make the most money, the right idea for him, whether he need to do it himself instead of just going to these obviously racist chains that's doing stupid things. Eventually, he's going to get the credit that he deserves. And speak of that, like the next couple topics that we can lightly touch about. Can you tell me who's hot and who's not? You falling off of hip hop music? You want to know who's hot out there right now? How's about I just tell you what albums you could probably go listen to? Like, go listen to the Nipsey Hussle album. Oh, was it Victory Lap? I think it's Victory Lap. Listen to that album. That's maybe the best album of this year so far. Uh, Royce the 5'9" from Slaughterhouse has been doing his thing, especially with him and DJ Premier, that Prime album. And Royce the 5'9" solo album is pretty hot. Uh, there's a lot of stuff, man. I'll get back to that maybe a little later. But now that we talking about giving people things that they deserve, like, did you guys see that Missy Elliott got uh what did she get? She got the 2019 Songwriters Hall of Fame award. Like, she got put into the Songwriters Hall of Fame. And big congratulations to Missy Elliott. She's like the first female rapper to do such, and she deserves it. Like, she's come out with a lot of hits in her career, and she's probably wrote a lot of hits that we don't even know about. Yeah, salute to Missy. Missy definitely doing her thing, fam. And you know she's back in the lab. She's been making this new album since the Super Bowl that she went and tore down. And I'm kind of mad that, like, by the time this album come out, that whole buzz that she created through that Super Bowl performance is going to be gone. But it is what it is. I'm happy to see that she's going to be dropping some new stuff. Salute to Missy. That's big. On top of, did you see 8 Ball and MJG got put into the Memphis Hall of Fame? And I'm sure a bunch of cities have their own Hall of Fame of things that happen, but Memphis is different. Memphis has a long legacy of music spanning back to not just hip hop, but also jazz, country, all types of music ran through Memphis. You feel me? And for 8 Ball MJG to get that Hall of Fame in there, that's big. Orange Mound, bro. Always been a fan of 8 Ball MJG, man. Salute to them as well. Giving people the props, the dues, like before they die or anything ever happened to them. I'm happy to see these people get what they've had like 20 years in the making of getting, fam. Much respect to them. Uh, the next thing I wanted to talk about was did you guys hear about 21 Savage, where he donated he donated $50,000 to his childhood friend's daughter who's going through stage 4 cancer, in which, a lot of people feel a certain way about 21 Savage's music, man. But a lot of these things that 21 Savage has been doing in the game outside of music, man, has been like some of the realest stuff. You feel me? Like 21 Savage, on top of doing this, he also said that he was done uh rapping about, what was it? I think he said that he was done rapping about other people's clothes and other people's stuff, and like being overtly gangster and all of that stuff too. Like talking about killing people and such. Like he's saying that he's done with it, trying to move on. I believe. Like, don't quote me on that one. Like it was a while ago, but he said something specific, and DJ Academics came out and tried to slander him for saying such a thing, which was nonsense. But 21 Savage, man, he's showing that he definitely has his heart in the right places to be a part of this culture. Oh, oh yeah, one of the few good deeds from Mr. I'm a hoe too. Yes, we'll never let that go, Sean. But yeah, we're gonna always hold 21 Savage's feet to the fire because he decided to go along with that nonsense. He should have known better for that. Yes, yes, it is what it is. But yet, I support the good deeds of him having a good heart, though. So salute to that boy 21 Savage as well. Uh and I guess the last thing I want to talk about today, as this one is, I mean, it depends on how you look at it. Like, did you guys see Danity Kane, the group that Puffy put on through making the band? It was the second making the band two. He put Danity Kane on. You feel me? Now, they've been coming out talking about some of the things that they had to live through as a group and how traumatized they are from it. You feel me? Like, okay. It all like O'Day, I think her name is. She was on the Celebrity Apprentice. And how she broke it down is like, okay, I was out there doing like a throwback style with her hair and makeup and clothes and all that on every episode. And she was running circles around the competition as people, like, as she was saying that people was telling her. But yet Donald Trump came to her. Well, that came to her, but came to her people saying that she's ugly. Oh, and from there, her feelings was so hurt. And then Don, the dark skinned mocha one that was involved in the group, she's saying that she was in a meeting with Jimmy Iovine and like 50 board members, where Jimmy Iovine said specifically, like, because this wasn't for Danity Kane though, this was for Dirty Money. But Jimmy Iovine said not only to her, I will get more into it. I'll tell you. But Jimmy Iovine said to Don and all of these other people, like, why is it that you don't have light skinned women? Like, these women here are pretty ugly, dude. To the whole 50 boardroom members. Yeah, precisely. Like both of these, like Don and O'Day, or whatever her name. It is, yeah, it is O'Day. They let these white men hurt them verbally, and then Don threw it on Puff, like, oh, Puff, you ain't gonna protect us. You're not going to stand up for us or anything. And I mean, when I first read this, I'm like, okay, it's time for y'all women to put on the big draws and act like some adults now. Because, I mean, am I saying that this shouldn't have had a negative effect on them? Like, I'm sure that has a negative effect on the self esteem of all kinds of women out there. You feel me? But first of all, y'all got put on by Puff. Y'all didn't have nothing. nothing. You wasn't nothing, as Bonnie Mac would say. You ain't nothing. You ain't nothing. You was nothing before Puff reached out and said, you know what? I'm gonna put you guys into my group. Y'all didn't own that, but yet y'all wanna slander Puff or make Puff feel some kind of way because he didn't make an enemy out of Jimmy Iovine, who was heavy in the game at the time. But I mean, it's facts though, Sean. These chicks ain't nothing. But yet you trying to pretend like an almost billionaire in Puff needs to stand by you to go against another billionaire, almost billionaire, create an enemy because he's not feeling. Now, yes, it was overt racism that he did to Dirty Money, which was not cool. I'm not for that at all. Like, I would ride for you. But yet, the realities of this game, though, is you're going to get this type of criticism regardless from anybody when you're in the limelight. And it just so happens that Jimmy Iovine knows black men for the most part. Too many black men put too much value on light-skinned chicks, even though an ugly light-skinned chick is like, bro, you were like ugly light-skinned chicks look like Bowser. You feel me? Like, but dudes are so pressed forward. So you got guys like Jimmy Iovine who's going to question business moves. But on the real though, like you women were handed an opportunity to be in the music industry that very few people ever own it. Did, how do I feel about Little Baby? Little Baby is garbage. Gunna, I've heard I've heard a bunch of his features, and I know that Lil Baby and Gunna did do a collaboration project, right? Gunna is cool. Little Baby is garbage. Uh, but that's my thing, man. Like these people who are gift wrapped things that they don't even deserve. They'll come back on you and try to pretend like you didn't do them any favors when you should never say anything negative about Puff in your life. I don't care if he made you walk to get some cheesecake, fam. I don't care anything that he did. You didn't own it. He reached out to you. He was the one who put out the casting call, and he was the one who sat down and listened to y'all sing. He's the one who chose you over anybody else, any of the other 50,000 or so people that he could have chosen. He chose you. And now you want to be upset with him because he didn't make an enemy out of a billionaire who rolls heavy in the same industry that he is in order to support you and save your feelings. Like this game don't work off of feelings. And yes, it was overt racism that Jimmy Iovine did, but yet at the end of the game, at the end of the day, Puff realized that this is business, and you ain't gonna mess up Puff's business. And don't you know, like, women do far worse things to get put on in the game than what y'all did. And women have far worse things happen to them while being put on in the game than what happened to y'all. Like, this is y'all biggest complaint. Like, you got called ugly and your feelings was hurt. Like, take a listen to some of the horror stories that happened to pop icons in Japan, because it's a completely different culture in Japan. To become a pop icon, you have to go through these massive conglomerates or whatever. And they smash all of them. guys and women. They do whatever they want to do to these people in order for them to get the notoriety that they can give them as the business corporation. You feel me? Like that's what happens to them. And you don't have a story that bad, then I'm not trying to hear you in your complaints. And you are like, see, the thing that really irritates me is borderline facts. Like, I mean, the thing that annoys me about it is borderline y'all trying to me too Puff, saying that he wasn't there supportive of us. He wasn't doing anything for us. Like we felt violated while walking under Puff. Like that type of stuff is not cool because Puff ain't never did nothing wrong to y'all. He gave y'all an opportunity. Y'all didn't pan out. Maybe because y'all wasn't ready to get this opportunity. Maybe because y'all didn't pay your dues in the streets to build up your own name in order to deserve this opportunity. And y'all want to be mad now. Nah. But then after they got clout, they'll act all cocky. Yeah, facts. I'm like, bruh, y'all was season 2 of making the band. Y'all was talking all that. This is the greatest opportunity. I love you, Puff. All of this nonsense. But now, nah. And he ain't did nothing against you. You have no legit argument to go against Puff. Well, there's so many horror stories that come out of the music industry and they're trying to trying to prop up these chicks for the week reunion and all that, man, and try to use them to get at Puff, dude. Like, that's not cool. Uh, but that's all I really want to talk about today, man. If y'all got any more questions, hit me with them before I about to go grab something to eat, actually. Hmm. Now, okay, back to the who's hot like right now joint. And I was telling you there's some projects that you could probably go back and listen to. Uh, who in the rap game is like really outside? I'm sure you know of J. Cole and Kendrick who are top, who pretty much are the top dogs of the hip hop game right now. Uh, as much as people like to clown Drake, the Scorpion album did have a good selection of songs on it that were pretty dope. That you should definitely go ahead and peep out. Uh, who else is hot but upcoming? See, it's more difficult for me to tell you this because I focus so heavily on the underground. You feel me? Of guys who haven't gotten that name yet that you should check out, other than the people that are in the game. Yeah, there's a lot of great rappers that's out there, dude. But I will tell you some underground artists to check out. Like instead of supporting the people who instead of supporting these people who are already like successful, you feel me? Scorpion didn't suck, bro. Like the song that he got with Jay-Z up on there, produced by DJ Paul, that song is fire. Still to this day, fam. But let me go ahead and read you out some of these artists that I believe you should definitely go ahead and listen to. So please take out your pen and your pad for some artists and a project that you should listen to immediately because it's that good. there's a guy named there's a guy named Q Bossellini. He's actually signed to Spice One. Sean, you might even know Spice One. I believe Spice One is from the West Coast, right? But I know Spice One has been heavy in he ain't been heavy in the game, but he's been in the game for a very long time putting out stuff. But Q Bossellini, he got a project called The Beautiful Struggle. Like it's not, it doesn't have a lot of dope songs on it, but the songs that are dope are fire. There's a there's a Houston rapper. In fact, I can type these in as I go. Yeah, I can. Okay, there's a Houston rapper. There's a Houston rapper called Ra. His album is called, well, his mixtape was called Breaking Bad. Now, that project is fire. It's a long one. It's a long project now, but it's worth listening to all 30 of the songs that I think are on there. Like out of the 30 songs, I got like 7 or 8 that was dope. Like that project was amazing. Uh my man's Buick B. Jay-Z wasn't giving his best on. I mean, Jay-Z is washed up. I've been telling you that Jay-Z and a lot of these artists are washed up. But yet, that beat was fire. Jay-Z did enough to hold it down. And like honestly, I enjoyed that entire song, dude. I don't know why you just straight up hating on the Drake project because he's Drake, fam. But another project that you guys need to go peep out, a Buick B World Play. That project is amazing. Like almost top to bottom, fam. Almost top to bottom. That joint was amazing. Uh Now if you wanna like now there's a guy that came out earlier this year. He might make my best mixtapes of the year for this year. His name is Lil Baby. He dropped a project called Hybrid. Well, it feels like what J. Cole is trying to do with his music, but yet J. Cole isn't quite good enough to do it, ain't as good as Lil Belly can do it. Let me type him in too. Yeah, that Lil Belly with all the eyes and all that stuff in there, that's how you supposed to spell it. Check out that project too. That joint is dope. Spice One is you heard of Q Bossellini? Q Bossellini's new project, man, was cool, bro. Like that joint was kind of dope. Spice one of your favorite rappers, huh? Like my brother back in the day used to rock heavy to Spice One out here, man. And that's the only reason why I knew of him. Like my brother was listening to Spice One before I even got into hip hop. And I'm gonna give you two more. I'm gonna give you two more artist projects that you should listen to. Uh, uh, hmm. Let's see. Should I? No, no. I got a lot of projects. Like this is my my iPad. So I don't keep all my music on this. I just keep the later music, and it just takes me a little while to go through it. Uh, well, some of you may have already heard of him because he's still on the independent scene, but he's becoming like one of the bigger independents that's out there. His name GT Garza. Like uh the project that I'ma send you to is my favorite one, but he's consistently been dropping stuff. Uh this one is called Batteries is Not Included. Is it? I think it's Batteries Not Included, the original. Not Batteries Not Included too. Now, that project was fire. Like he actually got a song on there with Zero. Like his lead single had Zero up on there, and like Houston looks out for Houston, and like almost like how many songs did I got like five songs off of that one. That was pretty fire. And the last person I'm gonna plug for y'all will be Yeah, my man. Like this last artist, he's from York, Pennsylvania. Like uh, like I'm from Pittsburgh, and I've never been to York, Pennsylvania. Like it's out in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania. But his name is Kwame Katana. What's the name of what's the name of that project? It's called the I Just Wanna Be Heard Volume 2. Yeah. Yeah, that Kwame Katana, I Just Wanna Be Heard Volume 2. That was that was borderline classic underground mixtape right there. On the real. Like real talk, that Raw Breaking Bad, that Buick B, that GT Garza, and that Kwame Katana, I would say those are like classic underground mixtapes that nobody's ever heard about. That Lil Belly, I need to listen to it some more. Like by the end of this year, I'll be able to tell you if it sustained the life of time. I mean, sustained the test of time. We'll be able to see from there. But yet, that Lil Belly is pretty hot though. Like, check out those 5 projects, man. You will not be disappointed. I promise you that. But any other questions before I get up out here? Nah. All right, fellas. Y'all be easy, man. I'm about to go grab me something to eat. Watch some more of this Injustice tournament. Like, have y'all? My computer updating. Damn. Ah. But have y'all Drake only popping up because of his stands and airplay? Nah, man. Like as much as you want to deny Drake puts out quality music, he does put out quality music from time to time, dude. And I mean, there was a long stretch where I was like, Drake is the wackest. He ain't put out nothing. All of his songs sound the same. It all sounded like Marvin Room and all of that. But when he got out of that and started dropping things like back to back and all of this, man, he's he's been able to release a consistent flow of quality music. Ah, LeBron is starting to win though. Like LeBron beat my. I remember I was clowning LeBron for losing to my Blazers, but he sure enough did come back and win the second time. I didn't think he was going to do it, but Brian is going to be all right. Man, Drake's music, man. As much as you want to hate on the what was the song? The song that he got towards the women or whatever, where he had all of the women in the beat in the video and all that. His latest hit that he took the whole South sound and such. Uh, as much as you want to dismiss it, that song was a hit, and it's not because it was super popular. The song was hot, and then uh, I mean, I can look at that Scorpion album like that song 8, trying to turn that 8 into a 10. That song was hot, fam. The song where he's explaining to the world why he was hiding his kid. That song was hot too, fam. Like, I'm not saying that it was a classic album. I'm not saying that it's a top 5 album. I'm saying that it's got a good amount of songs that was, it might have to, it might just make a top 5 list on the wheel, because a lot of, as much as there's a lot of great music that's out there hasn't been as many dope songs on a lot of these projects. Like, you kind of got to get to the point where you seriously considering that Scorpion as a top 10 to top 5 album. It was way too much. There was a dope EP in there. Like, if he only had like 7 songs and he took the 7 best songs out of it, it would have been maybe top 5 album hands down. But he had so much on there. You really can't give it to it. But that Drake Scorpion album, man, people want to hate on it. It's better than what people think. And if music continues to go, yeah, more life. And if you reading this, was garbage. Yes, over Daytona. Daytona was absolute trash. And this ain't because I'm choosing sides in the beef or anything like that. I'm here for the good music. Daytona was whack. And the reason why it was whack is the same reasons. I'm telling you, like, the reasons why Daytona was whack is because Pusha T and Kanye want to try to put together a drug dealing album that's going to stand the test of 20 years, but yet the album won't last but 10 minutes because the standard level quality just ain't there. Like, Daytona was like pretty much all of them projects that Kanye came out with during the surgical summer. Pop back up. But pretty much everything that Kanye was dropping during that surgical summer was all rushed, and they was trying to prove a point more than releasing quality music. Hey, when Drake is on his monotone one singing tracks, those are mad boring. I am never going to deny that. I'm never going to deny that at all. Those are mad boring. But yet, not all of his joints are like that. My computer's acting up, fam. But hey, I'm gonna use that as my cue to get up out of here. I need to work on my computer right quick. Y'all be easy.